Okay, so I'm here with Rotem, we're talking about his name, Rotem.
Up to you.
From Lights and Shadows, brilliant film. I've seen a couple of times, it's in competition at our Fusion Film Festival in London. Welcome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Rotem is one of the actors from, and it's 4 or 5 vignettes, little short films that are threaded together as like a common theme. The sex is probably the theme.
Sex is one of them.
Yeah, it is kind of, but...
religion.
Religion, and I just seriously picking up on the last story. That's to do with a guy being introverted and shy. So there's all different elements on there.
Yes.
But could you tell us your role in one of well, you're the devil, aren't you?
I'm the devil, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Azazel, yes.
And can you give us some idea how the part came to you, how you were approached, and in fact, yeah, well, just tell us what's your story actually about. Your part of the film,
what my story's about?
Well, what's the synopsis of your part of the film?
Well, actually, it's
and lots of sex. I've mentioned that already.
Sex,
yeah.
It's very esoteric.
You're looking through that script. Wow, it's going to be a tough one to turn down.
Well,
loads of sex.
Actually, the funny thing is that when I looked into the script, there was not a lot.
And none of the women, I have to say, are unattractive. Let's be fair. They're all very attractive women in the film, and men, aren't they? Actually. The whole film.
They are.
They are.
Oh.
All of them are, aren't they? Frankly, all good-looking people in the film.
we have this language barrier. I think I can speak English, and then I can't understand the word.
Yeah.
No wonder I. And when I read the script, there was not a lot of information in it. Actually, it's the dialogues, the lines were very few, very little, and it was really hard to understand what was going on actually. And it's only when meeting Olivier and he
Nolan, is it Nolan or Nolan?
Nolan.
Yeah. Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when we met with him and then on set, he explained very gently, he pushed us into what he wanted. And so it's about...
Oh, so that's when you discovered the loads of sex in it, rather than when you were doing this. No, but genuinely.
Yeah, genuinely, I knew there would be, but I didn't know the way we would do it. Actually, when you look at the movie,
It's not graphic.
It's not graphic.
It's actually very tastefully done. All the segments are really.
And it's funny. It's what I call the magics of cinema, because when you look at it, there's one picture specifically that is on one of the posters where we lie like in a very gentle,
sort of languid way.
Yeah, languid.
Well, yeah, we've got the poster over there, which again is the girl in the last segment, and it's a beautifully shot image. She's just on the bed, and you just have the sheet
it's
over.
Both of us.
Yeah,
when you look at the image, you think they're so peaceful, and it's so. But actually, if you were on set, it would be really funny to watch it how it was done, because we had our trousers on, the bed was too tight, so we had to put our legs like this. We had to just block in one very unnatural pose and then shoot it very fast, and all of a sudden it looks, and that's the magic of Olivier's eye.
He's got a magnificent eye. He has.
It looks like so peaceful and so quiet, and actually it was a mess on set. It was really funny.
Oh, was it? Well, no, it's a shame that not, because I love French cinema, because it's like any cinema. It's not always going to be great, but actually they generally make really good. I mean, the good directors make really good films, and this is atypical of that. And what's I love about it is it's shot beautifully, and we were just talking about the building. It's just a massive, great. I don't know.
It was I think it was a former kindergarten, but with nuns. It was like a convent, a big convent. It was all in ruins. Rooms everywhere.
The set decoration, not the room decoration.
Oh, amazing!
It's amazing, isn't it?
Even the place, the little La Ferté-sur-Loire. It was La Ferté. I don't remember the last name, but actually the village was beautiful, and we would go and we were accepted by the locals there and eat there at the local little restaurant on the river. Well, it was amazing time there.
And the look of it, I would call it shabby chic, is the thing.
Shabby chic.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that before. But it's cool. It's the I must not say aesthetic, it's not aesthetic, but the rooms that he uses, and that means that they look used and worn, but in a cool kind of way. So shabby chic, yeah. Yeah, and you can tell because he uses like the pastel colours on the walls. And
exactly. Really pastel.
Yeah.
Well, to me, this thing is. It's this beautiful movie is, I'd say, how do you say that? An insight on Olivier's unconscious mind.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things are coming from his conscious mind. Really, obviously, the children, the child, and the sex, the woman who is corrupting the devil, or the devil corrupting the woman, the two girls that live together, Tova, and a lot of names there are taken from the Bible.
Yeah.
Like Azazel is the devil. In Hebrew, Azazel is the way we call the devil. It's just the devil's name.
Right, I don't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you tell someone go to Lech Azazel, which means go to the devil, go to hell. Yes. Tova is also it's a Jewish name. Some of the names there are very. At the beginning, she opens the window and you see a cross of light. And it's very, there's lots of religious things.
Religious thing thematically, isn't it? It's quite religious. Although we shouldn't say about that, like, again, then I'm comparing that to the story, the end story, keep going back to this end story, but that's radically different, and there's no sort of religious themes in that, but that's a measure of how he interweaves all these stories.
Exactly.
I say, we're talking about this great film, it's difficult because people haven't seen it to understand just how good it is. But it's a brilliantly made film.
Well, and
was it fun?
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I know you said it was a bit chaotic on set, but it all sort of came together.
Actually, I'm not used to being naked on set, so it was the first.
You okay with that?
What?
Were you okay with that?
Actually, after the first 30 seconds, yes. No, but yeah, it was really, really fun because Olivier is a very gentle man, very, very gentle.
I've met him. Yeah, I've met him.
The crew was very little and gentle too, so we just briefly met with that girl I didn't know before, and then we had those sex scenes. No, it was not uncomfortable. It was quite fun.
And I say about the girl I know to do these scenes with, so that's always the danger, of course, isn't it? Because it's all about chemistry. And if you're meeting someone for the first time and then you've got to do intimate scenes, and then what happens if there's no spark there? Then you're in trouble, aren't you?
Well, I think our job is to make the spark happen.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, but you know what I mean by that. When I say spark, it's something that's ethereal and difficult to. You can't teach that to someone, can you?
Well, you can actually, and the good thing is that we're both trained with the same methods, with the Meisner method, and it's all about living the moment fully with and in total connection with whoever's in front of you, a child, a dog, an actor, a good actor, bad actor. It doesn't matter, and she was trained the same way I was, so it was very quick to just get in the moment, just go. The moment it starts, we are together, and we can't escape that. So that was very helpful, and a lot of actors there, I think, are Meisner trained because they picked up a lot of actors by the Scott Williams. I don't know if you heard of him.
No.
Scott Williams has a company called the Impulse Company in France and in Paris, and he teaches French and not only, also in Hong Kong, in Australia, all around the world. And he's a very, very good actors trainer. He trains people to just be ready all the time. It's not about thinking, not about.
Because the acting in it is excellent, I should say.
The actors, when I saw the movie, I was like, wow,
yeah, it's amazing.
Wow, every one of them,
well, Catherine,
I'm not including myself.
Well, no, they're all brilliant. And in fact, Catherine is, because I didn't realise again until I IMDb'd Catherine, I can't remember her surname, Hubru or
Hubo.
Yeah. And I IMDb'd her after, because I've had quite a lot of contact with her, and I didn't realise she's got an amazing resume. She's been acting for a long time. You know?
For La Comédie Française also. Yeah. Which is the French comedy, the big French theatre, yes.
And but yeah, the performance is all first rate. So anyway, as always, I'll go off piste here. So you got the call, you got the script, you're going to do the film. So how long did your part of the shoot take? And sorry, I should say, all parts of the film, were they all shot in this grandiose house, in different parts of this house?
I have no idea.
Because it looks like it's all.
It really shot. Yeah, I think they were shot approximately in the same places, but it really treated it as as you said, four short movies that have this connection together. So I just shot. We shot for a week, I think, for a few, like three or 4 days, with a Saturday or Sunday in between.
So it's quite a short shoot, isn't it, really? I know you're
quite short,
splicing 4 films together, but even so, it's still...
Exactly, because our scene was basically the scene where they talk together, and then the scene where they're having sex, and the scene when he dies. So it was quite an easy shoot. The hard thing about it is that it resembles nothing. I mean, I never seen a movie resembling Olivier's.
I've not seen anything like it.
So it's totally new. So when I had the script, there was... all was in his head, imagination, and in his eyes. So I had no idea how to say those lines because taken together they're very thin. It was just a skeleton of what was happening.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, the script was like 2 or 3 pages, and he filled all of it with his imagination, with his very peculiar universe. But you buy it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. You're absolutely right. I mean, I can't think of another French film, or any film, but particularly French film. But again, it gets back to what I said earlier, that get a good French director, and they just have this sort of knack and way of producing really good stuff on on screen, And yeah, he's a really talented director, and it's a fantastic film. So yeah, just getting back to the phone. So there was this kind of chaos that you alluded to earlier, but it was. How did it all come together? I imagine all these people running around like crazy and getting everything ready and shooting and.
Yeah, it's like makeup, it's shining, makeup, your head. So we were like shot, and then you have to be like completely peaceful, as if you just had plain wonderful sex.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy, and that's what's lovely about that. It's when you watch that on film, you go, how could anyone imagine with the hectic moment we just lived at this moment?
And suddenly it looks so calm and tranquil, doesn't it? Yeah.
Tranquil, but you have to. At the moment, it's the craft of acting is quite wonderful. The moment you enter on stage, or the moment they say action, all of a sudden there's a kind of solitude that happens. That the rest fades. It doesn't really fade. It's there, but you enter into a bubble, and if you're lucky enough to have someone with you, then you both enter in the bubble. So it happened to me. For me, it happened that I had to slap or kiss or be very intimate with someone I hardly had ever met minutes before. We had the good thing with that girl is that we met a day before. We went in the hotel.
Oh right, so you kind of had a bit of a okay.
But she's married, and we are not. So everyone shows their boobs there. So.
Yeah, I know, I've seen the film. Steve's looking excited, and as I'm going to talk, it is actually a really good film. So
I wasn't. So actually, I show my ass.
You showed your ass, yeah. So was it what I would call a traditional casting call? How did it come about? Did you know Olivier, or did
no
internet casting? How did it all happen?
No. Olivier just picked out in people he saw on stage or people he saw on film the one he liked, and he just contacted us, and he knew who he wanted from the beginning. So I was quite happy he called me because.
So were you based in France, or were you in the UK at the time?
I'm based in France. I was born in Israel.
Yeah.
I've been working in France for basically ever, but I've started working in the UK quite recently. Actually, I started in the movie industry quite recently. I was all about theater.
Right.
And just shot two episodes from the Riviera. I don't know if you know that one.
No, is it like a drama series? Oh,
Yeah.
No, that's on like Sky or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With,
So what's your part in that?
What?
What's your part in that?
I play Enzo.
The devil.
I play Enzo, which is not the devil, it's just a drug dealer. I don't know why they take
kind
me
of
for
a devil then.
Sorry, I just. And actually, this is from the production of Riviera because they took me to what's the name of this big shop?
Well, like a store.
The huge store, that's the beautiful one.
I don't know. What, in London?
In London, yes, the one of the most Selfridges.
Oh, right, okay.
They took me to
so
Selfridges.
they spent the money then?
Yeah. Wow, it was an amazing
Yeah, it's not
production
cheap.
too, and it was quite an honor, and be able to shoot with Julia Stiles and Will Arnett.
Wow.
Yes, and one of my favorite Israeli actors, Igal Nao, who was playing the bad guy there. Oh my gosh, what a lovely man.
And you just finished doing a couple of episodes of that?
Yes, from the last season. That's going to be released in May, so I'm trying to see if I can work more in the UK because I just love it. It's great. And I can speak English, even though I can't understand it, as you know.
No, very well. So, just to wrap up, your overall feeling about this in the round, not just your segment, but what's your take about this film? Having looked back at what Olivier has done with the film.
What is my take?
Yeah, your feeling on the film, your impression.
My impression is that it's almost not a film, but in a good way. It's like
I think of it as a painting when I watch it. No, really
it's like a painting, exactly.
It is, yeah.
It's like when you go and you sit in a museum and you see that weird painting, beautiful and full of symbolism and things, and you have to sit in front of him. And the more you sit in front of the picture, the more you go, huh. And then you can stay hours in front of that picture. It's exactly the same
It's a
thing.
kind
with
of
that.
like a modern Hieronymus Bosch.
It's something like, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And at first you go, what's going on? You're quite destabilized because it doesn't obey the normal rules of cinema.
Well, and I think that's because of the chunks.
Storytelling.
Yeah, the 4 chunks. That's the separation.
Exactly. But he manages to take you inside his completely rich and weird world, his inside world. And to me, it's like a picture onto Olivier's inner world.
Yeah.
Inner psychology, inner...
Bit of a worry, really.
Yeah, inner contradictions, inner fears, and it's just like an insight into someone's unconscious mind. It's quite weird.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And glad you came to join us.
I'm glad you asked me to. It's very nice.